Okay, final chapter for Philip and James. And I've mixed some Mars orange, given titanium white a Mars orange tint. Actually a bit stronger than I had expected. It looks pink, but no, it's actually orange. And I'm using a number 3 brush to go around the difficult bits, the fiddly bits. And this really does take some time. This is 4 times the speed of what's normal, but it's very fiddly getting around the edges, and then there are a few slips and you've got to go back and make corrections. But once the outline has been completed, then I can use the big fat 14mm flat brush, which looks like that. And it's Kalinsky and it's beautiful. This has been a difficult journey, partly because I've largely constructed the composition myself. I was using a model that went to the waist and I wanted full length. And the first mistake I made was to have the two saints too far apart, to put them halfway in each half of the panel, and that put them too far apart. So I had to do the sketches all over again, and that's okay. To redo stuff is fine because you're just learning more all the time, and every time you sketch the image, it's a rehearsal of what's going to happen in the end. Even so, when I did put it onto the panel, I realised that I'd made a big mistake with the design, particularly below the waist. Had the outer garment going all the way to the bottom, and that's the outer garment doesn't go all the way to the bottom. It sort of drapes, and you can see the undergarment. So that was correct, that was okay, but also the Philip's right arm was really boring, it was too much like James, so I moved that out into a posture like that, and that created huge problems because I couldn't get that forearm looking right, even right at the end, changing the shape of it again for about the 4th time. That was okay. And I also had a change of mind. I'd done, a bit of thinking about what the colour schemes would be. They'd be blue and green, but the inner garment would be different colours. Then decided, no, they'll be white garments, but over shadows of the outer garment colour. So it became a really interesting exercise in tone values, going from quite dark through to white. A few other discoveries happened along the way. One was that I needed to make, particularly the green garment, it was too flat, even though there were lots of highlights. It didn't go dark enough. I hadn't had enough heavy shadow in the shaded parts. So instead of just putting in burnt umber, which is a common way of making things go darker, I put in the complementary colour for green, which is red, and that was quite satisfactory. I did the same for the blue, which was even more satisfactory. That is to add a bright orange to the blue, which makes a lovely, vibrant, dark blue. I've done that before with ultramarine. This was the first time I'd done it with cerulean blue, and it worked really nicely. So happy with that. I thought originally that I was painting Philip, the disciple of Jesus, and James, also a disciple of Jesus, the brother of John, only to discover that no, when you put Philip and James together, the James in this little couple is not James the brother of John, it's James the Just, or James of Jerusalem, James the brother of Jesus. Ha! So that was good to discover, and you can see now I'm getting a good go on with this tinted white, tinted with Mars orange, using the big 14mm flat brush, about three coats at least. Tidying up some bits where the background splashed around a bit too vigorously. Now once the background is finished, it needs to dry before the halo and inscriptions go in. So this was a morning task, and then an after lunch task then is putting in the halos and the inscriptions. And for this I lay it down. One of the things that tends to happen when I'm doing this is I forget to turn the camera on. So I did Philip, and but forgot to put the camera on, so I was very careful to put the camera on, and this is normal speed, as you can see. Went on really nicely. This didn't turn on either, and then it all went clunk, and have you noticed that there are two eyes in Philip? And I didn't discover that until I posted a photo of it on Facebook and suddenly saw the mistake, whipped it off, made the change, rephotoed and put up the new one. So there they are, Philip, the disciple of Jesus, and James, the brother of Jesus. It's been an interesting journey. I've learnt a lot. I've made a lot of mistakes, and that's why I've learnt a lot. It does help if you give me some feedback. There is room for comment underneath the YouTube. There's a spot to indicate that you like it. And I'd really like to hear from you. I've heard from some of you, and it's so interesting to make contact with folk around the world who are interested in iconography and who are on their own journeys of discovery with this wonderful art form. Thank you for watching.